Well, all right. Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. And well, today I am going to do a ranking. I am ranking the opening tracks from all the Kiss studio albums. Yeah, they have 20 proper studio albums. I'm not doing any of the live albums, no comps or whatever. I mean, no smashes and thrashes. I know that or killers, even though I know that the opening tracks on those are new studio songs, but I'm not doing those, just the 20 proper studio albums. But I will tell you that if I did put Let's Put the X in Sex on the list, it would be at the bottom. That is for sure. But let's see what I do actually have at bottom. Okay, so coming in at number 20. Coming in at number 20, chronologically speaking, is very near that. Crazy Crazy Nights. Yeah, Crazy Crazy Nights, the opener from the 1988 Crazy Nights album, which I cannot stand. And I know a lot of you Kiss dorks love that one. That's awesome. I don't. And this song, you know, the guitar riff on it, I kind of like it. Like, that opening guitar riff actually isn't bad, but I can't stand the lyrics, I can't stand the chorus, I can't stand the production. It's just, you know, this one goes out to everybody out there, all the people out there, whatever it is. I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments. Yeah, I don't like the song. I think the song is lame. I just like that guitar riff at the beginning, but that's not enough to go, not enough to shoot this up anywhere. It's at the bottom, number 20. So my number 19, the opening track from Hot in the Shade from 1989. Yeah, Rise to It. Now, I went back and there were a few of these songs I thought, let me go back and get a fresh listen in on this and kind of really decide if this is really where I want this. And Rise to It, I had to listen to it and I thought, I kind of like it. Kind of sounded a little better to me on this listen than it ever had. But in the end, it still had to come in at number 19 because I couldn't put it above any of the ones above it. I still like the ones that I have above it more. And I always really, really, really hated that annoying sort of slide guitar at the beginning. Because in '89, all the hard rock and metal dudes, they were all, cowboy boots, jeans tucked into cowboy boots and hair parted on the side and, getting earthy, thinking they were getting earthy, Dude, they were cowboys. On steel horses they rode. Yeah, whatever. The song's okay, though. It's definitely Kiss trying to do, Kiss again, but I don't love it. All right, so coming in number 18, the opener from Carnival of Souls. Hate. Hate. And you know what? I hate Carnival of Souls, but you know what? I don't hate. I kind of like Hate. I don't think it's bad. The thing about the whole, Kiss trying to do grunge thing is that Gene can almost kind of pull it off. Like this, the thing I like about Hate is that it's kind of a good Gene Demon song, even though it's a bit, on that annoying 90s kind of level, but I feel like the two things kind of mesh fairly well. Not so much on the rest of the album, because the rest of the album, Childhood's End, that's crap, but that's also not Demon Gene, so, Anyway, so coming in number 17, I have King of the Mountain. Yeah, King of the Mountain, which is the opening track from 1985's Asylum. Now, that is an album that I didn't buy at the time. Now, I guess I should go... my history with Kiss, in case you're new here. I got into them in 76, and I got Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over that year on my birthday. So those were my first Kiss albums. And I went all the way up to... Creatures, and then I just I got out of it. I just got off the bus, and I came back for one more. I didn't get Lick It Up, and then I got Asylum, and then I stopped getting them again. I didn't get Asylum. I didn't get Crazy Nights. What the point of all this? I don't even know. I'm just trying to babble, I guess. But I guess point being is that King of the Mountain was a song that I didn't hear till a little bit later. I ended up getting a used copy of Asylum like later in the 80s. And I was pleasantly surprised with that album. I didn't think that album was bad. I still think that's a pretty decent album, and I think King of the Mountain is a really great kick-ass opening track. One of their best 80s openers, I think. You know, this is definitely one of those tracks that is only as low as it is because I just like the others more. It's a good one. Okay, coming in number 16 from 2009's Sonic Boom. Yeah, you hate that album. You know what? I love Sonic Boom. I don't love every song on it, but I really like Sonic Boom. I don't understand why everybody hates it. I honestly don't. Like, it's Kiss doing 70s Kiss. How many people have been pining away for 70s Kiss for years and years, and then they finally get it and everybody bitches and moans. And you know what it is? I've always thought, I think the reason why everybody dislikes that record and thinks the songs are lame is because they're not connected to their childhood. Honestly, if Ladies Room wasn't on Rock and Roll Over, it came out brand new as a song on Sonic Boom, you probably would think it sucks. Honestly. I mean, come on, let's be real here. But I think that album's great. The opening track, Modern Day Delilah, I don't love it as much as I want to. I want to love it so much. And my problem isn't really that I don't think it's a good song. My problem with it actually is kind of a really stupid thing, but it bugs me so much. It's the title. The title really, it just... Modern Day Delilah. It's a Van Stevenson hit from 1984. Yeah, I don't know if you people of a certain age are going to remember. Yeah, Van Stevenson had a big hit in 1984 with a song called Modern Day Delilah. And when the album was about to come out and I saw the song titles and I saw the title of the song they were going to hit first with, I was like, wait, they did a cover of the Van Stevenson song? Well, thankfully that wasn't the case, but when I look at this, that's all I can think of. I mean, I feel like they may as well have just called the song 8675309 Jenny. Like, literally. So, and I know that's a really stupid reason not to rank a song any higher, but that has just always bugged me so much. And anyway, it's just not as good as songs I have above it. In my opinion. Okay. Alright, so coming in number 15. Coming in at number 15 from Animalize from 1984. Yeah, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. Yeah, what a strong opener that is. I mean, I think that's a really weak album, and I loved it in 84 when I picked it up. The Gene stuff, anybody and everybody knows that the Gene stuff is ridiculously weak on that album, but I liked it so much back in the day. Now when I go back to it, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe there's maybe a couple of songs I like on it now. And one of them is this. I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. Absolutely great. Under the Gun is another really strong one, of course. But yeah, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. Great opener. Coming in number 14, I have I Was Made for Loving You. Yeah, 1979, Dynasty. Now this is one that I go back to day one with. I mean, when Dynasty was about to come out and I Was Made for Loving You hit the radio, I was all over it. I was absolutely obsessed with Kiss. When I was because I got into them when I was 6, but I didn't really hit fever pitch with them until I was 8, 9, 10. Like 8, 9, 10. That's my golden obsessed era with Kiss when I was a kid. And I Was Made for Loving You. I mean, I wasn't one of those rock kids where if it isn't rock it sucked. I was a pop kid. I liked rock, but I liked pop too, and so Kiss doing a pop track or a supposedly disco track didn't bother me because I liked that kind of stuff. I loved the Bee Gees too, and I loved all kinds of pop stuff from that time, so I didn't feel betrayed by the song. I ended up getting really tired of it, and I went through long periods where I just was not into it. But I'm back to loving it. I don't love it as much as I did when I was 9, but yeah, I Was Made for Loving You is great. Okay, so coming number 13, I have Fanfare / Just a Boy from The Elder from 1981. Yeah, I think you can't just put Fanfare as the opening track. I mean, come on, what are you going to do with this? Yeah, Fanfare / Just a Boy. You got to get the first song in there to be a contender, right? And yeah, I have this all the way at number 13. I love Just a Boy. I mean, obviously there are many that I love a lot more than that, but I didn't think anything of it back in the day. I mean, when that first came out, I was definitely one of those kids who just scratched his head and went, huh? What? You know, and I basically got off the Kiss bus not long after that. But man, having gone back to this album when I was in my 20s, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks, I love The Elder now, and I think Just a Boy is great. In fact, this is another track that really this really benefited from going back and listening for this list, because I was kind of doing a lot of this in my head, just playing the song in my head and going, well, that's going to go at number 14, all that, that'll go below this, that'll go above that. When I went and I listened back to this, I was like, oh, no, come on, man. This has got to go up here, right here, boom, number 13, Just a Boy. Okay, so coming in number 12 from the final Kiss album from 2012, Monster. Yeah, I have Hell or Hallelujah. Yeah, now this song, this is where I initially had it. And then I went and I listened to it, and I was listening to the beginning of it with that riff coming in. Such a great 70s Paul Stanley riff. Almost like, I'm trying to think of, what does it remind me of? I don't know, but it's a great 70s Paul Stanley riff. It's a great song. Totally rocks. I totally catchy. Such a great opener. The only thing is I really, really wanted to put it up higher, and I almost did. I actually knocked it up a couple of spots, and then as the song wore on, I realized, no, I have to put it back down where it is, because the vocal. Now, the vocal is passable. He doesn't sound bad. Like, he's on pitch and everything, but the thing is that on those last couple of albums, Paul Stanley's voice, of course, as any sane Kiss fan knows, left the building a long time ago. And on Sonic Boom and on Monster, he kind of sounds like he's gargling milk, And even that, I can get past. But what made me go, okay, Hell or Hallelujah can't go any higher, is the fact that I can just hear the pitch correction on his voice. I can hear how processed it is, and it's just that bugs me. But it's a great song. It's a great performance considering where he's been at vocally for a long time. Again, wanted to put it higher, but I just couldn't because, the processed vocal sound. Okay, long explanation. Let's go to number 11. Number 11, I have Psycho Circus. Yeah, Psycho Circus. Opening track from, of course, 1998 Psycho Circus. Man, that album. Now, of course, with Kiss, the original Kiss back in action and going on tour and then coming back with a new album, I couldn't have been more coming out of my skin with excitement with a new Kiss album from the original four. And this was the first song we got before that album came out. Oh, man, I was like, ooh, this could be something. Of course, it ended up not being something, but man, I still stand by this opening track. Psycho Circus, that is just like, they really delivered, like exactly what you would hope, I think, from a new Kiss album in 1998 featuring the original Kiss in makeup. I feel like that opening track totally delivers, in my opinion. Unfortunately, the rest of the album did not, but Psycho Circus, number 11. Alright, it's coming to number 10. Number 10, I have Exciter. Yeah, 1983 from the Lick It Up album. Now, this is another one of those albums that I skipped when it was new. So when I went back to it a little bit later on, not too much later, but I went back to it a little bit later on, I was like, whoa, when I heard this track. Like, that is a kick-ass, absolutely kick-ass opening track. And especially for an 80s track. Well, it's 80s is all get out, but man, on the highest level, Exciter. And this is one that I went back to listen to again fresh when I was doing this list, and I was just like, man, it really kicks ass. I mean, this is really, really a great track. I mean, if you're a total 70s only Kiss fan or whatever, and you somehow missed this era of Kiss, give this one a listen. This is a really great opening Kiss track, Exciter. Okay, coming in number 9. One that most Kiss fans are going to be like, what? You put this above Exciter? The hell's wrong with you? As Ralph Vieira often says, timeline. It's timeline. Timeline is everything, and this is a timeline pick for me. Number 9, Is That You from Unmasked. Now, that's the thing. I love the hell out of Is That You, and when Unmasked came out when I was 10, I got that right away and loved the hell out of that whole album. You know, a couple tracks I didn't like. I think the Ace tracks are pretty weak on that album. You know, I never was a big fan of You're All That I Want, but by and large, I loved that album, and I still do. Is That You? I really just absolutely just loved the hell out of that song when it came out. And I maybe don't love it as much as I did then, but it's still like right here. And that's the thing. Exciter is a better song, but I love Is That You more. Okay? That's the difference. And, alright. So, coming in number 8. Unholy. Yeah. From the overrated Revenge album. I like Revenge. There are a lot of songs on it that I really like, but there's also a lot of songs on that album I don't like much. But Unholy, oh man. What an opener. I mean, yeah. I mean, come on, look what I have that up above. Exciter. Well, I mean, I don't know what I don't have it against it above anything that's that crazy, but number 8's a pretty high ranking in my opinion for the opening track from Revenge. But that's because it's Unholy. What a fucking kick-ass. You want to talk about great later Demon Gene? Pfft, this is where you go. This is where you're going to want to go. Unholy. Yeah, great track. Alright, it's coming in number 7. This is from the album where I first got off the bus with Kiss before my returns later. Yeah, Creatures of the Night from 1982. Oh, man. You know, it's funny because I bought that record. Right when it came out, I bought it. And something about it just didn't grab me at the time. And I don't know what it is. I think what it is they had really gone into that hard rock, early 80s hard rock vibe. And I wasn't quite there yet. You know what I mean? I wasn't buying Maiden albums. I wasn't buying Def Leppard albums. I mean, I was into Judas Priest. I liked some of the Judas Priest stuff. I mean, there was stuff that I really liked. I really loved Van Halen. But there was something about this, I don't know, that just wasn't speaking to me at first. Boy, did I get into it later. And I think Creatures of the Night is just such a classic, great Paul Stanley opener. Amazing stuff. All right, so coming in number 6, now we're starting to get into the real classics. You know, the stuff that I find undeniable, again, because of timeline. Now, this is an opener I think a lot of people would definitely put below Creatures. A lot of people would put above it. I don't know. This could go either way. Room Service from Dressed to Kill from 1975. Yeah, I mean, you know, Creatures of the Night is a lot heavier, a lot harder. You could definitely argue that it's a better song, but Room Service, right there. Oh yeah. How old was I when I got Dressed to Kill? I mean, I must have been 9 or 10. I mean, I didn't get it right away. That came out just before I got into Kiss. But I love that song so much, and I still love it to this day. Room Service. All right, coming in number 5. Strutter. Yeah, the first song on the first Kiss album. This may well have been the very first song many people heard of Kiss, and yeah, Strutter. Now, I first heard this song on Double Platinum, which means that Strutter 78 was actually the very first version of this song that I ever heard. Yeah, I heard that before I heard the Kiss Alive version, and boy was I bummed when I heard this version. When I finally got the first Kiss album, this sounded so lame and so weak to me, but you know, I've gotten over that. I love it now. I even gave it another little listen before when I was making this list, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, come on. Love it. Strutter. First Kiss album, 1974, kicks ass. Alright, it's coming in number 4. Also from 1974, Got to Choose, the opening track on Harder Than Hell. Harder Than Hell, my favorite Kiss album. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Kiss album ranking that we did recently. Yeah, Harder Than Hell is my favorite Kiss album, and I love the hell out of Got to Choose. Now, I have one thing about this track though. I really don't like the way they do the "Who's Your Baby" part on this version. I really don't like the vocal arrangement on that. They did a really killer vocal arrangement harmony on the Alive version, and I wish this had that. If they had that on this version, oh my god. But even with that, I love the hell out of this version, and I've always loved this album, even, you know, since I was a little kid and I got a copy of this, because it was always so weird and dark and creepy sounding. It sounds like somebody pulled the tapes out from like the bottom of like, you know, a closet somewhere, like a water damaged tape at the bottom of it. And that's one of the things I love about it. I don't know, it just makes this record. It's part of the charm of the record. Love it. Love this song. Got to choose. All right, coming in number three. I Stole Your Love. Yeah, from Love Gun from 1977. I mean, come on. What Kiss fan is not going to put I Stole Your Love very high on this list? I mean, this is one of Paul Stanley's greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. And I have to say, my top three were my top one is kind of obviously the best, but my 2 and 3 were just like neck and neck. But in the end, I had to put I Stole Your Love at number 3. Absolutely stellar, kick-ass, again, I repeat, one of Paul Stanley's best songs ever. Number 2, the song that was going with I Stole Your Love, I Want You, from Rock and Roll Over from 1976. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost a tie between my number 3 and my number 2. Those tracks are pretty much just as great, but I kind of had to go with I Want You. I feel like I Want You just has a little bit more just like, and also, it's the first Kiss album I ever had. Well, that and Destroyer. And, you know, so I have a little bit of an extra sort of like, it goes a little deeper in the veins. But it also, I just feel like it's just a tougher sounding track, even though it has that acoustic opening. But when it kicks in, it's just like, woo. You kidding me? Come on. I Want You. But coming in number 1, you may have guessed. And you might have guessed before you even watched the video, because it's probably your number 1 too. You wouldn't be wrong if it was. Detroit Rock City. Yeah, of course. I mean, now, that one, you know, there's, well, I was going to say there's a little burnout factor, but not really. I mean, Detroit Rock City is fucking Detroit Rock City. What more do you want? And it's arguably Paul Stanley's greatest song ever. I mean, you know, you could say I Stole Your Love. You could say Love Gun. You could say I Want You. But man, Detroit Rock City, I mean, it's kind of next level. And yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. That's my number 1, easily. And it's the very first Kiss song, I think, that I ever really listened to, because when I got Rock and Roll Over and Destroyer on the same day, I listened to Destroyer first, and that song was just like, and it hasn't aged a day. Yeah, so there you go. That is my ranking of the 20 Kiss album openers. And maybe go down to the comments and give me your list, or, you know, complain because I don't have, you know, I've had enough Into the Fire high enough for you. Whatever, you know, your opinion is your opinion, mine is mine, and they are both equally as valid. No, you're not a Kiss fan because you don't like Crazy Nights. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you everybody for watching, and thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, maybe consider subscribing. But if you do, please click the little bell because you're going to want notifications. And but come back on Thursday, because Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Boyd are going to be back here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios, and we are going to be ranking the Sly and the Family Stone albums. Yeah, that's right, we're overdue for a Sly and the Family Stone tribute video, and we're going to be doing our ranking of the whole Sly and the Family Stone catalog. And yeah, come back and check that out, because it is going to be fun. Hopefully I'll see you then.